Stage. So let me please call upon stage our first speaker of the day, Jagat ji. Please put your hands together for the Yeah.
Okay, so Pravaile moment.
It doesn't matter how you pronounce it. It's an oxymoron now.
So Pravaile moment just happened now.
Alright.
Okay, so I'm here for my module 2, which is concentrate to create, and the topic of my speech is the Chief's address to the nation, the Army Chief's address to the nation. So I'll just tell you overview and synopsis. So the speech would be, it's in the future, where the chief is addressing the nation on the 16th anniversary of the Kargil War. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very delighted to see a huge gathering here collected for the 16th anniversary of the Kargil War. The war that moved the nation. The war that moved the world. I feel honored to announce that our army has been awarded the award by the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon for the most intelligent and peaceful army in Southeast Asia. And I would like to thank the United Nations for the recognition. These years since our independence for the army has been a very tough job. We have fought and fought and fought with no conclusion. We fought the Sino-Indian War in 1962, the 1971 war where we were a neutral power, where we had to break a neutrality, to the 99 Kargil War, and some Siachen issues in the 1984. The situation with the army has been volatile. Here, on the 16th anniversary, we as a nation and as the army and as the people of the Republic of India would like to actually curb this issue. Resolve this issue so the wars that have happened, the bloodshed that has gone through, does stop. There is more bilateral relations between the countries that we have sour relations at this point. So the basic issue that surrounds us is that the neighboring countries and the country, our self-country, which is India, don't have a relation where they can trust each other. The main factor is trust. They can trust the government, but they cannot trust the army. If they can trust the army, they cannot trust the government. So it's a relation which is very complex and very difficult to understand and comprehend. And that's the task what we have and what we plan to do on this occasion. So first I'll run through the achievements of our army, what we have done for the nation and what we will do if the need arises. The Indian Army as of 1960s wasn't a very diligent group of men fighting wars. We were a peaceful army which didn't fight wars, which weren't engaged in any sort of disruption of the borders. We were just keeping our borders safe, just sitting out there. But in 1962, we discovered the biggest flaw in our history. That was that we didn't care. We didn't care about what is happening. And that was the time China hit us. That was the time we lost our land. That was the moment that we realized that we now need to work. We now need to work in the direction to get things going, to get that pride, to not be a country that can be targeted by anyone. So that moment was the moment of truth for us. Continuing from there, we went to 1971 where we broke our neutrality, where we fighted for a nation Fight it for the division of a nation from East Pakistan to West Pakistan. Fight it to create a new nation, for the people, by the people of by the people of East Pakistan. We did this to form a new community, to end the bloodshed, to end the communal rights, in another country. We took it as a goal to solve the issue in another country, so that the neighboring countries, the relation between the countries increases. We had a very tough war during that time. So we fought for 16 days. That was the shortest war in the history of the world, fought between two relative or two enemy countries. Moving on, in 1971, there was the Shimla Agreement that was signed. The two Prime Ministers, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and Indira Gandhi, signed the Shimla Agreement, which wanted to get more bilateral relations between the country, which did happen. It did take place for about 13 years. But after the 13 years, the story stops. In 1984, the major operation called the Operation Meghdoot took place, which turned the things around, which turned the tables around, which turned the complexity that I talked about around. The complexity of the government, the military acting in two different ways. A coup being formed by the military person, the government saying something else, the military doing something else for the enemy country. So Operation Meghdoot was where there was an undisputed area, which was the Siachen Glacier, which in this Shimla Agreement wasn't specified to which country would this land go, either to Pakistan or to India. So this operation was taken up by Pakistan, where they planned an attack on the Indian coast in the Indian territory, but the plan backfired because they went to a London supplier who would provide them with gas to fight in minus 20 degrees Celsius, fight in 10 feet of snow, but they didn't realize that importance of first getting a background check on that person. That person had to coincidentally or had to be this major supplier for the same gas to India from the past 25 years. So it was the Pakistan nations went to the supplier of the for the supplier that was supplying the Indian army to buy the goods they wanted. So from there things got leaked out. And that's how the war started. That's how it was the ignition of the war that we talk today, that happened 16 years ago. That was the point the war started. The war, the Kargil war, had a lot of bloodshed. People died. Many families were upturned. They didn't have anyone in their family to support them. People were left. Many people were left below the poverty line. So now, today, what I would like to address the nation to form policies between the government, between the people, by the people, policies that would decrease the chances of war, but increase the chances of peaceful diplomacy between countries to solve the issue. That would reduce bloodshed, reduce people dying, reduce human resource being killed, but increase more bilateral relations in a way that can help both nations. Not only help one nation, don't be selfish that it will only help us, but help both of us. Thank you.